2 days ago came the news that for some reason I can't explain, well, actually that's a lie, we're gonna talk about that later. There's people that want to make a movie that looks like this. And those news to me, an animator that lives in a third world country, were devastating. Especially for the way they're trying to market this, which is very clearly directed to the people that are making movies and greenlighting projects. This frame you're watching, by the way, comes from a short film that was made 2 years ago, which the movie's gonna be, I have to say, is gonna be based on. And now I've made my point about it, I can finally get rid of that awful image. Actually, I'm gonna do something more. I'm gonna put myself into this little corner of the frame, and I'm gonna let the credits for the movie Tangled play out throughout the rest of the video. Why? Because I want you to realize the amount of people that need to work in an animated film for it to look, feel, and connect with people the way Tangled did, okay? One of my favorite Disney films ever. I also want to put a spotlight on Tangled because it's the most expensive animated film ever made. It reportedly cost $260 million to make. And if you see the list of people scrolling through the screen, you probably will notice why. The amount of talent, preparation, and artistry needed to make something like Tangled is huge. And OpenAI wants to just change that forever. And that worries me and saddens me a lot. I'm gonna read a part of the Wall Street Journal, which is where this whole thing comes from, and I want you to pay attention to 2 words. OpenAI wants to prove that generative artificial intelligence can make movies faster and cheaper than Hollywood does today. Faster and cheaper. As I said, this beauty right here cost $260 million to make. The movie they're promoting as made with AI is gonna cost less than an eighth of that. They're promoting it as if it's gonna cost less than $30 million to make. Also, the other factor, time. Tangled took 6 years to make reportedly. This one's gonna take 9 months. Again, faster and cheaper. I talked to an artist from Puerto Rico and he said that it was funny to him that they were promoting this film as being faster and cheaper. The problem is, that's exactly what executives want. The way the entertainment industry works and movies in general is not about the money you make at the movie theaters. It's about what you can sell surrounding the intellectual property IP that's linked to that product. When you create a big enough IP like, I don't know, Lilo and Stitch, you can create a lot of different products that you can market and sell to people, and that's what actually makes you money. So this whole faster and cheaper thing is about creating more IPs. Again, relating it back to Tangled. 9 months versus 6 years, that's an eighth of the time. And by the way, that quote you just heard me read from the Wall Street Journal, that's the first line that is written there. You can read it without needing to be subscribed to that platform. And trust me, it's 100% directed to the people that are making movies. To be able to speak about this not coming only from my rage, I started researching into how this movie came to be, and that's how I stumbled upon the short film. And of course I watched it whole. Basically the plot of the whole thing is it's a fake documentary about weird creatures that are in some type of forest. And let me tell you that the best part of the short film is the YouTube comments that are on that video. Like, for real, I'm gonna leave some of them here. You can pause the video if you want to read them more thoroughly, but yeah, they were hilarious. This was particularly my favorite. And while watching the short film, my thoughts were, okay, this is awful, the voice is good, but that's because it's a human. And I was like, gonna let it pass for what it was, until we reached the credits. Calling yourself an animator for typing stuff into a computer algorithm is disrespectful towards every single artist that has actually worked on an animation film. And now that we're talking about the credits of that short film, I want to show you how few people worked on this. Once again, let's compare that to the credits of Tangled. There's no point of comparison. And I'm pretty sure that the amount of people that work on that are gonna either 3x or maximum 5x when they make the movie. It's gonna be so few people. The amount of artistry and work that you need to make just a short film is a lot. Trust me, I made one. It's uploaded to YouTube. You can watch it in the description if you want. That 5-minute something video took me 1 whole year to make. And it was basically me on my own. And it's not the best short film ever made, but I'm pretty sure it's better than whatever this guys did. And now that we're on this topic, I want to admit something. I used AI to make that short film. Just not in the way you would imagine. See, to make a production, there are many different processes you have to go through in order to arrive at the final product. That's why you need a ton of people to make something. And there was one particular process I wanted to avoid. That process is called skinning, which basically allows you to grab a 3D model and be able to do stuff like this with a face. So I went to ChatGPT and told it, I need you to give me 10 ideas of characters that are made of solid objects. It gave me a ton of options, some of them I had already thought about, but the one that I hadn't thought about that it gave me was about a golem. That's the whole contribution AI made to my short film. From that, I was able to write the script, make the storyboards, make an animatic, create the models, create the textures, make a lot of things. And 1 year later, produce the short film. I feel like I needed to address that because, yeah, I've used AI. You have used AI more than likely. It's a reality we're gonna have to face. AI is with us, it's not gonna leave. But we as an audience can help dictate how it's gonna be used. When the movie comes out next year, I'm not gonna watch it in the cinema. I'm gonna watch it when it's on the 7 seas, roaming free. If you know what I mean. Just so I can keep hating on it for what it is, not for what I imagine it to be. I think AI is a very powerful ideation tool. It helps you come up with stuff that you wouldn't have otherwise. But trust me, for writing, for trying to do something creative itself, it's terrible. I don't think the movie's gonna do well box office wise, but if it does just $30 million, it could be technically considered a success. And considering there's around 8 billion people in the world, that's a really low number they need to reach. You want to harm the film, you want to support artists and prevent this from taking over Hollywood, here's what we can do. Number 1, as I said it, don't watch the film in theaters when it comes out. Number 2, I said I'm not worried about it making a ton of money, but we live in a society in which these things have happened. So I'm asking you for something. If you plan to meme this film, wait for it to be almost out of the cinemas, so that we have a Morbius once again. Make them think it was an unappreciated gem, have it released again, make them lose money, and then don't watch it again. That's the best way you and I can fight this sort of things taking over the tech industry and putting a ton of people out of jobs. Other companies are using AI, not to this extent. I've seen it firsthand and secondhand, and I've heard rumors of other stuff going on behind the scenes. And sadly, every day there's just few jobs that are left for artists. And I, being an artist, kind of want to have a job, you know? That's why I'm trying to do this whole YouTube thing, because I'm afraid the whole AI thing is gonna get so good at replicating artists that we're no longer gonna be needed. But if I have a platform, even if it's small, I can maybe keep doing the stuff I love for people like you that know to appreciate it. In a few years, the label made by humans is gonna mean so much, which is both very encouraging and very sad. I'm not sure if the credits already finished or if they're still going, but if we compare the amount of people there to the ones that made that AI short film, there's no point of comparison. So please, let's make it so that those people don't end up without a job.